G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a week away as of this recording from Godzilla, King of the Monsters, coming to theaters, and I am excited. I am through the roof. You have no idea. Right now, the anxiety is through the roof, okay? My excitement through the roof, the anticipation through the roof, everything is through the roof, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is through the roof. But before we get to the roof and bringing everything back down, let me introduce you to my panel, because here we go again. For the second week in a row, we are graced by Gam Z1 joining us once again. I'm glad you're back, my brother.
Yep, I'm back.
He is back. And as always, I can't do this show without him. My right-hand man when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show, it is your man, my man, G73, Megzy, a.k.a. Chase. My brother, what is up? I love you.
Just hoping to get this week by.
Yeah.
I should have seen Godzilla already.
Yeah, we got it. Listen, well, it's a couple of more winks of the eyes, and next thing you know, we're in the theater sitting down watching Godzilla. And I'm very, 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 very excited about that. But, look, we're a week away from Godzilla. Less than a week if you're going to go see it on Thursday, okay?
That'd be me.
Me too.
Yeah, and me.
So, yes. But for everybody else who's got to work Thursday and is going to get out Friday and go see the movie, we got a week away. But before we get into all that, I just want to say super props and thank you to G73. Because this morning, I was up very, very early, and I don't know if y'all know this, he said it a couple of times. G73 is an insomniac. He's an insomniac. So he's up. I just so happened to not be able to sleep today because it was my last day of work. I work at a school. It's summer vacation now, so I'm off for the summer. It was my last day. So my mind was going to a million different places. I was up early, super early, 2 o'clock in the morning early. And the only person that was around at that time that I could conversate with was G73. And we bullshitted. We talked about movie theaters showing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That was a weird one, right? I mean, it was awkward.
It's still weird thinking about it, but
it really is. Where he sent me a picture where in his neighborhood, his side of town, the theaters are packed. I sent them pictures from my side of town, and theaters are not packed, and it's upsetting. But then again, I live in Sin City. You don't really go to the movies out here like that. You gamble. That's what this place is about. So that's what I'm chalking it up to. The other 49 states can rock on with Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal. But what I want to say is thank you, my brother, because you sent me that link to the Godzilla, premiere out here on Tuesday. And there's a sweepstakes you got to enter and all that stuff. And for whatever reason, I could not get in because apparently I already have an account with Warner Brothers. And this might have happened this actually did happen when Batman v Superman came out. I wanted to see that movie early, so I signed up with a Warner Brothers account, and then I forgot about it. So I don't remember my password. It wouldn't let me get in. The email was the same. The password was different. It wouldn't let me get in. I was so upset. I was like, whatever, I don't care. Because the fact of the matter is this. Judging by what we saw, what I showed you earlier with the movie theaters out here, this premiere should not be sold out. So I'm going to get in any which way possible. But then I said, no, let me not do it that way. Let me go the legit route. And I sent my brother the text message, copied that link that you sent me, and said, dude, sign up because I know you don't have an account. He signed up. He's entered in the sweepstakes. And now we have fingers crossed. So Chase, thank you so much. Because if I see this movie on TV,
I thought at first they were going to do because I know for this was really weird. And it's funny talking about this because I didn't expect them to be doing this Godzilla roadshow in the United States, and that's basically why we've been seeing it in New York and L.A. New York was 2 nights ago. L.A. was a couple nights ago, and they're just going to these big major cities, which I guess is smart. But, like, when I looked at it, I thought that there was going to be one of those in Las Vegas, like a little premiere, which what I thought would make sense. But then when I clicked on it more, got into it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's in advanced screening. And I'm like, it's in Ray's neighborhood anyways. I'll send it to him. So, but yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, seriously, I thank you. So my brother, he entered, fingers are crossed. Any which way, I'm going to be at that theater Tuesday, regardless. I'm going, I got a tattoo on my arm, on my left arm of Godzilla, and I'm be like, listen, man, if this ain't ticking enough, I don't know what is. Get me in this movie. But I leave it to my brother. He signed up, the true story, funny but true story. My brother won off of a phone call. He called up the radio station a long time ago, 2001, I believe, and got us into the world premiere of Cloverfield. We got to meet the cast. We hung out at the bar with them, drank with them, and then we went to the theater and saw Cloverfield with them. That was awesome. So
did you get to see T.J. Miller?
I saw, yeah, all of them, everybody, even J.J. Abrams. I met J.J. Abrams, ladies and gentlemen. I met him pre-Star Wars, pre-Star Trek. I met J.J. Abrams. He was doing Alias at the time. Remember that. He didn't even do Mission Impossible yet. But I digress. And all I remember from J.J. Abrams was he went to Japan, and him and his kids, they loved the Godzilla, and they realized, he said, you know what? We need a monster here in America. And Cloverfield was born from that idea, and hey, I got to meet them. So, yes, that was my brother's. He got that happening, and hopefully he makes this happen. Either way, I'm going all out on Tuesday. If I don't get in, I just wait 2 more days, and Thursday's the day we go see it. But anyhow, all that put aside, let's get down to the podcast, people. Okay?
Before we get into that, speaking of theaters, for those of you who live in the backwater state that I live in, known as Montana.
It's not backwater. Come on, man. I love that state. Beautiful state. Beautiful.
Well, I'm saying backwater as in, for the longest time, I thought Montana did not have any IMAX theaters, at all. I thought I was screwed. I would have to drive to Washington. But I actually just recently realized that we do have one IMAX screen here in Montana, and it's actually in Yellowstone National Park.
Is that down towards South Montana?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's in Yellowstone National Park. So forget going there to go see the wildlife next weekend. Go there to see Godzilla.
So let me ask you a question. Since you're from Butte, Montana, how far is Yellowstone? What's the time?
Yellowstone is about an hour drive away.
Oh, that's not bad. Listen, man, if you want to see Godzilla on the biggest screen possible, that's something me and G73 has been preaching. We got to go see this on, the best screen available to us, right? Yeah. And why not?
Yeah, that's what they're promoting, too.
You're right, they are. Speaking of promotions, before we get into... Dude, nice segue, by the way. What the hell is up with... final trailer after final trailer after final trailer after final trailer. I thought the final trailer was done when I went to see Avengers Endgame. What's going on?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about that trailer is, number one, if you want to avoid spoilers, do not see it. Do not watch that trailer. Do not do it.
It's true.
And the second thing is it's kind of cringe because they use Mama Say Knock You Out in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which version? LL Cool J's or Five Finger Death Punch's version?
What is it?
LL Cool J, the OG Mama Said Knock You Out.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of cringe.
So I did see that on but I mean there's been a couple this week. They've gone to the well. I will say this. As someone who's older than the both of y'all, Um, not combined, but possibly almost combined. I will say this: the choice of music they've been using recently for their advertising marketing scheme, it's been appealing to me. I love LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out." I listened to that, but then there's another one that happened earlier this week where they. I don't think this came out in as far as nationwide, but it's on like the Godzilla King of the Monsters official website or social media pages, plural. And it was "You Down with OPP," Naughty by Nature's "You Down with OPP," but instead of "You Down with OPP," they cut OPP out, and they don't say it, but they plaster on the screen MBB for Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that.
Dude.
It had a picture. It had a picture that's circulating around the memeing community of Millie Bobby Brown flipping
the finger,
flipping the bird.
Yes. Oh, dude, listen, I gotta be honest, man. I can't lie. I love both those songs. Like I was growing up with those songs. That was the song of my youth.
It's just my thing is, do these songs really fit with what we've been getting, which is like these epic renditions of "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," Claire de Lune, like
okay.
go from those.
Go
from those to "Mama Said Knock You Out."
I like what you just said there.
Well, you know who it is.
Shut up, Chase. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Whoever's doing the marketing right now has got to be my age. And it's got to be the same way I am. Because honestly, it might be me. It's not me. It's not me. Trust me, it's not. I would have let y'all know a long time ago it was. But dude, I'll be honest. It's probably something. If it was me, we're sitting in a meeting in the boardroom and somebody said, "Hey, what if we took Naughty by Nature's OPP and then like inserted MBB for Millie Bobby Brown in it, and then just like spliced a bunch of images of Millie Bobby Brown from the movie into this, and then just ran it as like a 25, 35 second trailer spot," I would have been like, "Let's go! I'm all in! Like, let's do it!" So I did, and I watched it, and I don't think they really showed much of anything new. There might have been a couple of things, but the other one, the "Mama Said Knock You Out" one, yep, I saw an image, and I said, "Let me get out of here real quick. I'm not going to watch the rest of this. This is insane." So it's something I've been against from the very beginning. When we saw the second trailer, I denied with all my heart, but now it seems like I'm going to eat crow, and it's what it is. I'll eat crow. Put a little salt and pepper and ketchup on it. I'll eat it. But yeah, and that's I'm not gonna say it here because it's a spoiler, and I don't want to spoil anything, especially because I haven't seen it in context of the movie. All I'm gonna say is, I think I was wrong, and it's what it is.
I accept. I accept what you're saying.
You know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We didn't even have that conversation. That's right now live. It's still in Garrus in the mountain, though. God damn it! But yeah, man. I mean, like, I got caught out there, and I saw something I didn't want to see. I quickly scrolled past it, but I saw enough of it, and I was like, okay, I guess it is what it is. Much to my dismay. I ain't mad. I ain't gonna hate the movie. We ain't see the movie yet. And I'm sure it's going to work because everything else I've seen and from what we've heard from Michael Dougherty, he's a fan. My whole thing is like, that's not something you want to do. I don't want to make this Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep this Godzilla. I want to keep this Godzilla. I don't want to have levels to this. But I digress. I want to get into, right now, something that Gam Gam Z1 pointed out to me this week. Something I should have known and recognized, but I didn't, so I'm falling off my game. But to my defense, it was also the last week of work, and there was a lot of things that I had to deal with. So I was processing, 50 billion different things at once. And as much as I want Godzilla to be at the forefront, I don't get paid for that. So, but this past week marked the 21st anniversary of Godzilla 1998. TriStar Sony, or Sony TriStar's Godzilla. Roland Emmerich's Godzilla. And we know it now as just Zilla, or GINO, if you will. But it is the 21st. It's crazy. Last week was the 5-year anniversary of Legendary's Godzilla. This week marks the 21st anniversary of GINO. I'm going to start with you, Gams. I'm going to start with you because you brought that to my attention. What does that like what do you feel like? What? It's 21 years now, bro. It's about your lifespan.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
I celebrated it. I watched the 98 movie because I mean, I'm Gam Z1. Zilla 1. I like Zilla. I based my entire Facebook page persona on Zilla. Mostly to make fanboys angry, of course, but regardless, my love for the movie is genuine. And I recently actually another way I celebrated. It's not here yet, but we all know I'm a collector, and I recently got the X Plus D for Real Godzilla 1998.
Wow.
That'll be my first X Plus figure. And
is it the one with the egg?
No. That was out of my price range. So I just got...
No, I didn't know there were that much of a difference.
Yeah. The one with just Zilla is about $88. And the one with the egg is about $110.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a little bit of a jump.
Yeah. But that's scheduled to come on the 31st.
Oh.
Which is kind of weird.
D-Day.
Yeah, D-Day.
It's like, remember me.
The same day that Godzilla King of the Monsters comes out in theaters worldwide is when the postman will be knocking on my door and saying, "Hey, here's your precious iguana boy."
Zilla confirmed. Zilla confirmed.
Iguanosaurus.
And I will be like, "Thank you very much. I will take that."
That's funny. But the mailman's probably confused. Like, wait a minute.
But just looking back, I mean, Godzilla 98 was how I got into the franchise. I was but a little unknowing 4-year-old boy going into the theaters with his parents, going to see this movie, kind of liking dinosaurs, as we all do at that age.
Right.
And seeing this movie and being so absolutely enamored by it, to the point that my mom was like, "Oh, well, if you like this movie, here, let me give you my old VHS collection of the movies that I grew up with." And that's all she wrote.
Man, I gotta say right quick, I love your moms. And Chase, I love your moms too. You know that. But Gam's like, wow, I can't believe I'm sitting here saying I love both of your moms. And Mom, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But you didn't take me to see Godzilla 1985. I cried. I wanted to see it. You walked right on by. You smacked me in the back of the head and you said, "We're not going to the movies. We got to go home." Downtown Brooklyn, Mom. You remember that? You remember that, Mom? You remember that, Mom?
You never hugged me as a child either.
Poor baby G1.
But, yeah, I know. But I will say this about Mom. I will say this about you, Mom. I love you. And you didn't smack me when I was crying hysterically when I finally did get to see Godzilla 1985 at home on VHS, and he fell into the volcano, and I tried to cover my tears up by going under the blankets, and this fucking puddle came out from under it. All you did was just mop it up, and you said, "It's all right, baby. It's just a movie." I'm crying now. I'm gonna stop.
She wasn't trying to tell you. I tried to tell you we're gonna see it. She knew it was going to happen. You're going to cry.
Yeah, she tried to save you.
She tried to save you in the beginning.
She did. Which is crazy, though, because she did take me to see G14, and she is taking me even though I've seen it already 17 times. But she is going to buy another ticket for me and her and my brother to go see King of the Monsters next week. So that's pretty cool, too. So, Mom, I love you. We celebrate y'all, moms. That's crazy, Gams.
Yeah, so going back to G98, I know this has been said for the 20th anniversary. This probably has been even said for the 15th anniversary. But it's been 21 years. People kind of need to let it go. We have 2014. We're getting King of the Monsters. And hell, we even have the animated series.
Which is superior to the movie.
Yes. Like, the movie happened, and people have opinions on it, just like people have opinions on every movie in the franchise. But it's a dead horse. And people need to kind of let it go.
I agree. G73, Chase, your thoughts on Godzilla 98?
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think it's a great movie. Well, you know what I am. I think I'm going to sit here and say, like, I think it is a great movie because it's a fun movie. And that's all that matters to me when I see movies. If the movie's fun, and I think it's great. You know, I don't know how many times it can be said, sure, it wasn't a great Godzilla movie, but it was a fun blockbuster popcorn flick when I saw it. And it still holds up. Now that I've gotten more mature, yes, I will go to that route. I enjoy the movie quite a bit. I have fun with it. And it helped me through a lot of nights of depression and anxiety and insomnia, and I like it a lot. You know, it's a cool movie. I was actually kind of bummed because when I was going to go watch it the other night, I think it was for the night of its anniversary or something like that, Netflix pulled it. And I don't know when they pulled it because I just watched it on Netflix like a couple weeks ago. And so I don't know where it went, but it's not there no more. And I think Netflix did that on purpose.
Oh, but I didn't even know it was on Netflix.
Was that?
I didn't even know it was on Netflix.
Yeah, I did. I looked up.
Yeah, it was for a couple months, but then I guess Netflix caught wind of the fandoms going, oh, why is that fucking movie on there? And pulled it.
The fandom wasn't going to get it.
It was one of the top trends for a bit.
The fandom is not going to get that movie pulled. I'll tell you that much. We're good, but we ain't that good.
Yeah, no, I just watched it on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and so it was just recently it was taken down, and it's been up there since the last episode of the anime came out.
I could see that.
So it's been up there for quite a while, which is a lot longer than most movies, but you know, I enjoy the film. It's a fun film. You know, it basically was a staple of what not to do with Godzilla, which is fine.
I love you.
From our mistakes.
I love you. That was pitch perfect right there, brother. What not to do. Oh, continue. Wow, that was dope.
But with its own merit, it was a genuinely fun monster kaiju flick. Now, I would have loved to have seen the sequel that it was going to set up, because that would have been fun. But, you know, it didn't happen that way. But on the lines of the hatred for it, I mean, eventually, I mean, people do have to grow up. I mean, you know, you could be like a certain someone we know in the Godzilla fandom who his name rhymes with Marin Mavage, and he just rips on the movie because he has a small wiener problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, and I mean, you can be like him and admit you were never hugged as a child, and that's why you take your hatred out of it.
Stop.
But, you know, I think there comes to a time, and this is even with Shin Godzilla too. The people that don't like it, eventually there's going to be a time where I personally am going to let it go. Because in any fandom, there's always a movie that not everybody likes, and there's going to be a movie where it's not going to sit with the fandom right. Okay.
Well, The Last Jedi!
It happens.
Is today not that day?
What are you talking
What's
about?
that?
Is today not that day for Shin Godzilla?
That's every
we're
day.
not talking about Shin Godzilla today, though.
That's every day. That's every day.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think about Shin Godzilla on the off seasons. This is about GINO. No, but yeah, but eventually it would in a couple of years or so. I mean, I'm not going to hold that movie under an iron that much anymore. Eventually I'll just let it go. I mean, I try to let it go now as I'm an adult, or looking at it and trying to just get past. It wasn't what I wanted out of it, but it's not going to be a movie where I'm going to sit in my room and just hate all the time. But Godzilla 98 was a fun movie. I enjoyed it, and I think that if people just sat down and watched it and put down their ignorances, they might see it at a different light. But I know there's a lot of people that won't do that, and and it's fine too, because not everybody's going to like it. There are people out there that are very different in their tastes of films, but I don't think it deserves any more the type of backlash it gets. And I think it's just because it's a trend in the Godzilla fandom, and you think about it too, there's only really a few movies in the fandom that the fans point fingers at. And I think G98 is just the easiest one to do it to. But, so that's where I stand. I mean, if I have the time and I'm bored, I'll put it in, I'll watch it, and I'll watch the animated series. I have no issues with that movie at all. And I still wish that if I was given the opportunity, maybe I would make the sequel just to end it. But, yeah, I wish it a happy birthday. And so, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
All right.
Nah, I'll say this. I'm again a lot older than both of y'all. I was in high school when this movie was coming out. I was actually I'm lying. I was leaving high school when this movie came out. I was like,
Were you kicked out?
No, I wasn't kicked out. Come on, man. I graduated in January of '98 because I messed up and I had to do some extra work. But anyhow, that movie came out in May of '98. But I remember all of the, the promos, the trailers, and I was already in. I was already
Taco Bell dog.
Huh?
The Taco Bell commercials.
The Taco Bell commercials, all of that shit. I was already all in. And I remember, I'll never forget this. I bought the tickets. I bought 2 tickets. Me and my brother. My brother was, I don't know, he was young. I think he was like junior high school young. I don't even remember. But he had no idea. And I bought the tickets and was like, let's go. And he had no idea. And I surprised him as soon as, because we used to walk to the theater. It was about a 30-minute walk. When we were walking, and I was like, dude, here, this is what we're going to see. And he lit up. He was like, oh my God. Shit. I remember the first commercial played during the Seinfeld finale. I never watched Seinfeld until the finale because I knew that the Godzilla trailer was playing. I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking awesome. I had no clue. I didn't know it was coming. Come on. Nobody did. But I remember going to the movies, Cobble Hill Theaters, Court Street, and enjoying the shit out of it. I enjoy it, and I still to this day do enjoy it. And yes, it's not a Godzilla movie. It's far from it. Far from it. The only Godzilla thing in that movie is the Japanese dude saying Gojira, Gojira, Gojira.
Yeah, that being said, probably the best part of the movie is the first 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But back to you.
But yeah, I agree. But I really do enjoy this movie. I do. I like this movie for what it is. And again, both of y'all hit it pretty much. It's not a Godzilla movie, and nowadays we can look at it as not a Godzilla movie because Toho has come out and said, yeah, no, it's official, but it ain't officially Godzilla. It's just another thing. I love that. I love the fact that they added it into their monsterverse. We saw Final Wars. We saw what happens. It's glorious, you know? It's not Godzilla, but for what it was, I enjoyed it. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I read the original script for that movie. I wish they would have made that movie. It was dope. I still own it. I got it somewhere. I have the script somewhere. It was great. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And there's certain themes from that script that I see in the trailers for King of the Monsters. And I'm not saying that's what we're getting, but there's certain things from that script that's very reminiscent in King of the Monsters. And I'm like, that's cool if they went and did that. That's cool. I have no personal problem with Godzilla 98. Is it a Godzilla movie? No, not at all. Is it an enjoyable kaiju movie? Absolutely. Plot holes and all. Because people want to all of a sudden get the, you know, their nose up. They want to put their nose up. They want to get all frou-frou with it. And they want to say, well, my Godzilla. Shut up, dudes. Let's be for real.
Okay, if we're getting frou-frou with it, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is the worst movie in the franchise.
No, we're not even going to get there. I'm talking about this movie. Because it was the first American live-action iteration. We had the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Dude, I'll be honest. I didn't even know about that shit until, like, I don't know. I was, like, 8 or 9. And I was like, what the hell is that? You know?
That's what Legendary's live-action movies are. They're just the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla.
That's not true. We ain't got no Godzuki yet. But then,
God, hope we don't.
And, you know, let's stay that way, right? And then, like, the Marvel Comics, you know? Like, I didn't even know about that. I had zero clue about these things. My Godzilla was the Showa Toho Godzilla. Okay? Until I saw Biollante. And then I saw Mechagodzilla. The ending of Mechagodzilla where my cousin worked in a video store. Then G98 came around and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's insane. But it's not Godzilla. It's not. But I respect it for what it is. People get their panties in a bunch when it comes to this movie. And let's be for real here. I'm going to be honest with you. You take out the context. You just don't even think of it as a Toho character. You just look at it, like Chase said, as a giant monster movie. It works. It's fun. It's stupid. It's campy. Why do people hate it, yet applaud most of the Showa-era Godzilla movies when those are campy? This is exactly what that was. It's just made in a modern time. You know, and that's what I appreciate about that movie. I have fun with it. I don't look at it as Godzilla.
I bet most of it is because Zilla doesn't look at all like Godzilla. That's the thing.
And he died from missiles.
Right, no, and I get that, and I get it, like, well, the title says Godzilla, but we gotta get over that. Toho has come out and said it's not Godzilla, it's Zilla. Shit, GMK made mention of the fucking monster before Final Wars came out. Think about that. Oh, Americans thought it was Godzilla, but that was just some other thing.
Zilla pops up in King of the Monsters to help Godzilla. So chill, folks.
Don't.
That would be the greatest cameo of all time.
Wouldn't it?
Now you better say you're joking, because if you saw something I didn't, I'm gonna.
Oh no! If that does happen, then I didn't know at all. I just spitballing.
It's just purely a joke. Oh, Godzilla's having trouble against King Ghidorah. Giant iguana out of nowhere.
Oh
yeah, the ground fucking breaks and his head pops out, and it's like a little 98 Godzilla roar, and it's like Gorosaurus.
Yeah, like the elephant Godzilla hybrid roar. Oh my god. Oh my god. But I mean, like,
it's funny because Godzilla 2000 used that roar a lot.
They did. They adopted that roar. They absolutely did. And
that's what's funny is like they did like that roar apparently. So
I mean, they also used a couple of different sequences. Shot for shot, got the eye thing from 98 to 2000. You've never seen that in a Godzilla movie before, where Godzilla's eye, you focused on it, you put a light to it, and then all of a sudden it contracted. Like, that was G98. Toho took some liberties. That's all I'm saying.
They took a lot of nods.
I love the movie. I do. I still enjoy it. It's terrible. It is. But it's one of those movies where I could sit down, watch it, and not be mad. Then throw on a TV series, which I was religiously making sure I watched every Saturday, because that shit is really fucking good. And yeah, it is what it is. Trust me when I tell you this. I would not be mad if one of the 17 kaiju turned out to be Zilla. I'm like, let's do it, brother. Let's go. Let's do it.
I actually would really like to see Zilla pop up at some point, just because, like, I said, like, if I was given the opportunity to make a sequel to that movie, I would.
I think anybody would, honestly. But let's be for real. Like, how funny would it be if Toho was just like, you know what? It's an American thing. Let's give it back to them. Like, they hate it, apparently. So let's just give it back to them. Let Legendary deal
probably
with that.
wouldn't make much money.
No, but like as a cameo of one of the 17 Titans that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that would be cool, though.
That would be absolutely bonkers. Dude, what if...
That would be very respectful, actually.
I agree. What if the mountain mover that I believe is Anguirus still to this day is actually Zilla? What if it's Zilla?
That would be funny.
It's got that
just
jaw.
a big fat turtle Zilla.
Yeah. It's got the jaw. It looks like an Aughra type thing. And let's not forget, when Aughra was sucking the regenerative G1, the cells out of Godzilla, when it was biting Godzilla and turning into Godzilla, and he even says he's turning into Godzilla, it kind of resembled 98 for a brief bit. I'll never forget that when I saw that for the first time. I was like, that's genius.
Toho shaped Orga's face around G98. That was a fact that they confirmed themselves.
And see, in the juxtaposition to what the Godzilla looked like, it was completely night and day. That is hysterical, man. That is hysterical.
That's basically what Godzilla 2000 is about. It's basically Zilla versus Godzilla 2000.
Yeah. Yeah. Until Final Wars, right? Like, come on.
He somehow survived that nuclear pulse inside his gut. It's like, will the real Zilla stand up?
Well, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I do enjoy Godzilla 1998 for what it is. I don't hate that movie. I'm not one of those G fans that just totally says, nah, screw that. It destroyed Godzilla. It didn't to me. It didn't. It ruined Godzilla in America for a while, and probably still to this day. But Gareth Edwards, he course corrected, and let's just hope Michael Dougherty puts us on the right path. That's all we can hope for. And so far from what we've seen of these early reactions, that's where we're at. So, look, super props to G98. Thank you for being such a terrible, Godzilla movie, but a cool kaiju movie. Because it is. It really is. And people who want to beef about it, check your freaking previous posts and stop with the nonsense. I love campy stuff, but I hate G98. Come on, man. Shut up. Nobody, huh? All right.
Well, my closing thought, pretty much, one of the best ways to probably watch G98 is to watch, obviously, the Blu-ray, but also in conjunction with the riff tracks commentary, because that's some pretty funny stuff. They riff on its campiness. They don't tear into it like G fans do, because the riff tracks people aren't Godzilla fans. So they just riff on it as a cheesy, goofy, dumb movie. And that's very enjoyable.
Yeah, that's how you should really look at it anyways, too, you know?
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. That will conclude that segment. I want to jump into something real quick because we got a couple more things before we get out of here. I want to talk about two things off the top. This week, we got not one, but two cool-ass things for Godzilla King of the Monsters. First being, I think they actually dropped pretty much the same day. So I'm going to start with this one first because we knew about it in advance. That is Godzilla Aftershock, the comic book, the graphic novel, hardcover that Legendary put out that's supposed to be the bridge between 2014's Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to read it. I'm pretty sure my partners over here did read it. But I was also informed that there might be some spoilers for Godzilla King of the Monsters. And in that regards, I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to read it. So we're not going to go into a full review here. I want to get... Chase, did you read this?
Yeah, I bought it and finished it in an hour.
Okay. Games, did you get this? Did you read this?
I got it right here with me.
Okay, so without going into any details or spoilers, all I want to know is your overall feelings for this book. So I'm going to start with you, G73. Chase, what did you think about this book?
It's very interesting, and it is definitely a book G fans... I mean, I would say G fans should get it if they want this closure gap between 2014 and this movie. It's a very interesting book, but there's like a point in the book. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to talk in depth about it.
Don't get into the spoilers or the details. I just want to know your reaction.
It's not spoilers. It's just my overall thoughts on it.
Yeah.
It feels like the book kind of like hits a peak and then flat falls. But it was a decent book. It's a very interesting book. But to me, the book felt mostly more just like an introduction to a lot of the characters we'll be seeing in King of the Monsters.
Okay, cool. Games, what about you?
I pretty much agree that this is pretty much the kind of sort of origin story to Vera Farmiga's character. So if you want to get in depth with her character, definitely check it out. The artwork is gorgeous. Let me get that out of the way. A couple of panels with Godzilla kind of look traced from movie stills of the 2014 movie. But, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole tracing versus actual drawing debate on right here. But it looks fun enough. Godzilla's opponent is cool. The ancient lore introduced in the movie is cool. In the book, sorry. In the book is cool. And it's kind of like the other tie-in comics. It's like the birth of Kong and Godzilla Awakening. You don't have to get it to understand the movie, but it's a good little companion piece.
That's a good point because I completely forgot about the birth of Kong. So let me ask the both of y'all. Being that myself included, with the exception of Godzilla Aftershock, I'm pretty sure all three of us have read Awakening and Birth of Kong. Where does this rank? I'm gonna start with you, Chase. Where does this rank Godzilla Aftershock within these three titles?
Where I felt Birth of Kong. Well, I don't know. Birth of Kong, I think, to me, has the more structure of the two comics.
Okay.
It's a little bit paced better. Awakening and Aftershock kind of feel really rushed. But I will say that Aftershock is way better than Awakening.
Okay, that's what I was hoping for, because I hated Awakening. All right, Games, what about you? Where do you put this?
I'm kind of on the same boat. It's kind of almost not fair to throw Birth of Kong into this because that's a 5-issue miniseries and not like a 60-page graphic novel. So they had like more time to flesh things out and pace things out. But overall, it's definitely better than Awakening. Is it better than Birth of Kong though? I need to give it a couple more reads before I can figure that out.
Okay, I ain't mad at y'all. So there y'all go. I haven't read it yet. I really do enjoy Birth of Kong. I thought it was fantastic. I enjoy it a lot, and it's a.
I can't wait till when we're able to actually talk about it, because there's this part in the book it's hard for me staying quiet about it, but it's something that I think is really cool, and it's just
I think I know what you're talking about.
We've got 1 week and a couple of days before we get to talk about it. All I'm saying is right now on Amazon, that shit is sold out until like June 15th to July 5th.
I am glad I pre-ordered it then.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Because well, here's the thing. I thought it was going to go digital like Godzilla Awakenings did right off the bat. And it didn't go digital, so I was kind of confused because that's how I was going to get it. I was going to get it digital. And I'm like, wow, well, I don't really have comic shops around here like that. And
do you have a Barnes & Noble?
It's a mission to get to. So I was trying to avoid it. I was like, shit. I'm just
a mission.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to order it digitally. And yeah, that didn't work. But regardless, I will have it. I'm definitely gonna read it, and it's definitely we're gonna save this like complete review of that comic book.
You could order the book from Barnes and Noble's website. You'll get it cheaper on their website, and they'll ship it to your house.
Well, I like that. Well, I'm gonna do all of that stuff, and we're gonna review the book after we have our Godzilla King of the Monsters review and gush about it for 2 episodes, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna take 2 episodes. One more thing that came out, I forgot, that we got to talk about, that does contain spoilers, so we're not going to go into detail with this either. But the Godzilla King of the Monsters soundtrack came out, and I haven't looked at the track list. I just studied like crazy there. I didn't look at the track list. I don't know the names of the songs, except for the ones that I need to know, like Godzilla's intro, Rodan's intro, Mothra's theme, surprise. That's all I need to know, right? I don't want to know nothing else. So unlike, let's say, I don't know, when that Phantom Menace soundtrack came out and there was the death of Qui-Gon plastered all over it. Come on, man. We didn't even see the movie yet, and you're already announcing that Liam Neeson is going to die. Thanks, Star Wars. So I don't know. I didn't look at the track list. I didn't listen to every track. All I heard was Bear McCreary's take on the Godzilla March, and I heard about 25 to 30 seconds of the Mothra theme, and I thought they were fantastic. I really did. A lot of bass drum, all that stuff. But regardless, I thought they were really cool, and I can't wait to see it in the context of the movie because I think it's going to work. But you guys have apparently listened to everything. So without getting into spoilers, like the comic book, I'm going to start with you, Gams. What was your take? Like, how do you feel about the music? Like, is this score good?
This is probably, like, there is a meme that's on Facebook that I shared on my profile, where it's that one scene from The Lion King where it's like, look closer, he lives in you, and you replace Simba's face with bears, and you replace Mufasa's face with Akira Ifukube, and that is what I feel right there.
I saw that. Like, that was awesome.
Like, it is fantastic. Godzilla's theme is great. Mothra's theme is great. Rodan's theme is fucking... It has no right to slap as hard as it does.
Come on, man. Everybody knows I love Rodan. You know, everybody knows. Like, G73, Chase, you know that's my man. I love Rodan.
As hard as it does. Ghidorah's theme is great. All of the other music is great. I also cannot wait to hear it in the context of the movie. A lot of people have been having problems with the Japanese chanting in the background.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part, actually.
Yeah, like,
wow.
That is great. Why do people have a problem with that?
It's weird,
because
man.
They don't want God of War music.
Oh,
Don't give me that crap there, Chase. It's not God of War music. Come on, man. It's not.
Well, but that's the thing. God of War's music had a lot of chanting in the back, Norse chanting, and people resemble that. A lot of what I've been seeing, people are saying it reminds me of God of War's music. Well, it's Bear McCreary, and that's literally a thing I've been seeing people say.
Shit, you know what? Now, as I'm playing the music back in my head for God of War, which I've played, I don't know, countless times because I love that freaking franchise. And then I'm thinking about Bear McCreary's Godzilla theme, the march. I do hear it now. So I apologize, but I do hear it. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I don't know if it's necessary. Put the bass in it, man. But just give me the march, man. Like, the march on its own is beautiful. It's gorgeous. So I don't need people go, GINO, go. I don't need that. No, get that. I don't need it. I don't need it.
To me,
I'm sorry, I don't agree.
To me, it adds an element of empowerment when I hear it.
Yes.
Well, imagine seeing Godzilla strolling on the screen and you hear this tension build and you start hearing chants of Gojira in the back and shit's about to go down. You're going to be like, wow, the music just highlights that.
I have, I don't know, 30 some odd movies worth of Godzilla where when Godzilla comes on screen and that march plays and you don't hear that chanting, it's still majestic and magical. I'm just saying.
But see, that's one of the things too. What I really liked about the CD is you get listening throughout the whole entirety of it. The march theme is used a lot, and I loved it.
Oh, okay.
It's used in a lot of songs, and I'm not going to say what song, but they use Mothra's theme from GMK as well.
Really?
Yes, and that was very shocking to me because I did not think that they would do that.
That's like
to add what Chase just said. It's not so much the da 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 da. It's actually a lot of the times the tracks it's da 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 da.
That's what I like. Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah,
okay
that motif plays a lot in a lot of the tracks.
And it's also the melody of it. There's a lot of the melody used too.
Yeah, a couple times in a couple tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. But the GMK Mothra theme being used, like, I had to question myself, is this really what I'm hearing? And I had to think here is I know I've heard this song before, but I'm not sure if I've heard it in any other movies. And then when I realized, GMK, I'm like, I don't think GMK's Mothra theme has been used in any other movies. But then,
this is technically a GMK movie, but I'd replace Baragon with Brodan.
Yeah.
Shut up, G9. Shut up, Yam Yams. Shut up, Yam Yams.
But the track, it's one of my favorite tracks when you come to it, though. It is a great track, and but the music is great.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question. If let's just say, find the playlist and just put it on without looking and just let's say I lay down with my eyes closed, it's better that way, right? I'm going to just listen to music, not be spoiled by track names.
That would be the way I would recommend it, actually. Just play it in the background, put it on Spotify, put it in the background play. Bada bing, bada boom.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I might have.
I would say that too. Just be careful because there are songs that are really long, and if you think oh wait, what's this? Why is what's this? Just don't look at your screen.
I wouldn't do that because again, I'm like, I
don't know. I mean, I was going off topic for a minute. I was thinking about something else, but the title track that I'm thinking of that for the song with the GMK Mothra theme, I don't know. If you're going to listen to it anyways, you'll see for yourself because it's very noticeable. But Yeah, it probably would be a good idea just to sit and turn it on and listen to it.
Well,
it's decent.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I mean, again, we're 1 week away as this is recorded. But listen, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around. Seriously, we are a week away from Godzilla, King of the Monsters. We are literally a week away. It is coming. We are here. So the next time you hear us here, we're going to be reviewing the movie. Okay? Because at this point in time, we will have seen it already. So we're going to probably do a spoiler review next week. And then, after that, it's off to the races. But that'll do it for us here at the G Show Podcast. I want to thank you, Gams, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, G73 Chase, Megs, thank you for being on with us.
As always.
And I want to thank y'all all out there for hanging out and listening to us. I am G1. This is the Godzilla Block Party. And we out of here. Peace.